Amazon Web Services Lambda functions, serverless computing. What is an AWS Lambda? Well, basically it's AWS's compute service that runs your backend code in response to events such as object uploads to S3 buckets or updates to your tables in your DynamoDB or activities. The benefits of Lambdas, basically they take servers out of the equation, so you have no servers to manage. They give you continuous scaling based on your application requirements, and you never pay for idle time. In fact, you only pay for the time that you use down to the microsecond. And it gives you the benefit of dynamic allocation of services as your applications require them. What this means is it makes it easier to build real-time data processing. You can build scalable backends for your behind your services, and you can ramp up or ramp down autonomously your services as required. What this means is you can create what they call fire-off functions to perform cascading processes. I guess an example of this would be one part of your application service could be perhaps capturing lead data from the web, and then that could fire off a Lambda function that stores that into your database, which then fires off a Lambda function that does some data analytics and updates business analytics or BI stuff. So it goes on and on, really, whatever you can come up with, I suppose. Important to know, AWS Lambdas, I guess you need to know microservices. They really are they're integral to AWS's method for implementing microservices for a large degree. That does not replace server-orientated computing. It's not taking the server out of the equation. It's just taking the server, I guess, administration and resource allocation out of the equation. And Lambdas as well, they're better suited to a net new application. The complexity of shifting a legacy system onto a Lambda platform would probably be too complex to make it worthwhile, potentially. The details. The good thing about Lambdas is they're agnostic to the coding language. They support Node.js, Java, Python, C#, and also the libraries included those, including native libraries. As a resource model, so you can select the power rating of your Lambda functions from 128 megabytes all the way up to 1.5 gigabytes, and your CPU and network resources will be allocated proportionally to the power rating selected. And you have reporting available to you in CloudWatch, so you can see the usage of your functions and what you're going to be built ultimately. Usage, so Lambdas can be call or send events. They can be integrated with other AWS services such as DynamoDB, API Gateway, and S3. And also security. Lambdas give you the ability to have fine-grained control over who can access your functions and also the resources that they give you access to. How it works, much like everything in software development, you need to plan what you're trying to do. Build, which we actually write the code, and you can either build it in AWS's IDE or you can write in your wherever you want, zip it up and upload it, test it, always important, and then deploy it. And what I'll do now is just do a quick little demo to see this in action. Alright, so I've navigated to AWS, and obviously I have a username, login, password, all that sort of stuff. And what we'll do now is we'll navigate to Lambdas. Try to open it up. It gives you a bit of an overview of what can be there, but we'll jump straight into create a function. And as you can see, you can choose from a blueprint, a serverless application repository, or you can author from scratch, which is what we'll do for this demo. And what we'll do is we'll call this my first Lambda. Runtime, you can choose from different languages, as you can see, Go, Node, Python, Java. We'll stick with Node. We'll choose an existing role just for the sake of time, but you can obviously select your roles as required for authority. And there we go, we've created a Lambda function. And there we go, we've created a Lambda function, as you can see here. What you can see on the left here are the different triggers that can trigger this Lambda function. Everything from API Gateway, IoT, and it goes on and on. If we scroll down a little bit, you'll see the code, and this is the actual IDE where you could code if you chose to. Obviously you could write it in whatever other place you wanted to, zip it up and upload it. But let's just make a quick change to make this the traditional hello world function. We'll save that. And we've created a function. Next thing we'll do is we'll create a test. We'll just call this my test. Obviously you do something a bit more elaborate, I'd hope, in a production environment, but just to give you the idea. And there we go. And then what we can do is you can go up here, we can hit test, and it's executing the function, and as you can see it was a result. Hit the drop down for some logs, and you can see the status code 200, the body was hello world, and here's a bit more data in the log outputs, giving you some idea of the memory used, build duration, memory size, so on and so forth. There we go, that is a Lambda function.